Hey, welcome guys. This is going to be a quick show of a buck that, spoiler alert, did not turn out very good. We learned some stuff and there was definitely some heartbreak involved. But without too much else explaining, let's just get into it. Just got set up here about 15 minutes ago. It's about 3:20 now. Got my boat right there. Got my trusty 308 right here. And I've actually got an 8-point about 200 yards away. I try to get some footage of a lot of bedding over in here. All through here. And the plan is to catch them slipping down. Or there's a lot of bedding over here. And we'll catch them slipping up to go feed on that freshly cut bean field. But that's mostly like what the does will be. I think a buck will be coming here, trying to slip into the bottom, or possibly, running this bottom, coming up to the bedding to check for does. There's a couple big rubs down there. Well, I think we're in a pretty good setup here. The wind will just behave just a little bit. She's swirling just a little aggressive for me right now, but it's supposed to settle down here about 20 minutes, which is good because I still got time. It's a little after 3 o'clock. Anyway, we're setting up. Maybe wants to come for a drink. We got an open bar here, free drinks on the house, so that's the plan. I don't know if I got a video. I was watching this spike and all of a sudden a bigger buck, either a big 8 or a 10, snuck up behind him and chased him off. Guys, there's a big 8-point. I've been trying to call to him, and he's been working a scrape. But he's just out of range. He's actually on just across the property line. So I'm working on him, trying to get him to come this way. I'm shaking like a leaf, though. He's a big old boy. And this 8-point is right across the property line, but he bedded back down about 180 yards away from me. Now it's a waiting game. I don't know if I should try to call him or if I should let him sit. I already tried a little bit of calling while he was still standing up. And he didn't seem to really bother him at all. So the doe came and stood up, and he followed her away. So he's gone, but maybe he'll come back. Well, more like the doe would have to come back probably, but I think he's probably gone. So that was the last I saw of him tonight. He followed that doe off and never came back. But I got home and I was looking at some trail cam photos, and I've got a couple of him last year, 2022. And so it seems like there's a lot of similarities. I'm pretty confident it's the same buck. So he's definitely pretty old. He looked definitely mature last year. So anyway, my wife and I are going to go back to that same spot tomorrow morning, because I'm pretty sure that's his home range. So if he's not still following that doe, he should be home and he should be back. So we're gonna go out there and put in a sit, and hopefully he shows back up. Okay, we did not do any filming this morning. It's been kind of a roller coaster. Came back here with my wife this morning, same spot where I saw him last night.
It wasn't 20 minutes in the sit, starts getting light. Shows up, see him, he turns quartering away. I was like, well, I'm dropping him. Dropped the hammer on him. He went down. Nothing to be found, no blood or anything, so we backed out. Now it's about 3 hours later. I've had time to calm my nerves a bit. And I'm gonna go start looking again, so we're just gonna try to find some blood. Okay, so still tracking here. He should have been right in here, somewhere in this little thick little brush stuff. I'm looking at where I last seen him, somewhere in here. Yet to find any blood yet, though. So this story on this buck is pretty much over for now. I spent 4 to 6 hours, I'd say, looking for any trace of him where I last seen him. I never found a drop of blood. I never found a hair. I never found anything that really pointed me towards a severe wound. And even though I'd seen him, he was on the ground. He was flopping around on the ground. I know what happened now. I had to hit, somehow missed back and high in that little kind of dead area there, right below. Probably just hit the very bottom of a vertebrae or something. And I look it up now, I know it was spinal shock, and it sends them into shock and they just fall down on the ground. Well, I didn't know that at the time. That's why you should do your research. And I should have tried to put another shot in him, even though all I could see is his head and his horns, kind of. But that's one thing I guess you can learn from this that I definitely learned is if a deer's on the ground moving, I'm going to keep shooting, especially if there's any chance at all that it's a spinal shot. I'm kind of curious if anyone else has ever experienced this. Just let me know. It could be kind of fun to find out. I've never really heard of it before this happened. So we're really hoping that he survived. You know, I know he's either already an old buck. He's probably 6 or 7 or something. He's really old already. So hopefully he survived and we can get a chance at him next year. But I have a trail cam up there and he hasn't showed back up yet anyway. So that's kind of the end of the story on that buck. Definitely a sad moment to have a buck like that get away when the script was so perfect. But that's how hunting is, and I guess we learned from it, and we'll shoot better next time.